Good morning, everybody. It is Sunday, September 21st. We are expecting some severe weather over the next 2 days. We do have a slight risk. Tomorrow, any of us a marginal risk across the Ohio Valley, Central U.S., and Midwest areas. Today, we also are watching the tropics very closely. There's multiple models on the ensemble that are starting to pick up something trying to develop in the Gulf or in the Caribbean. And we're expecting more waves to go off the coast of Africa, including we do still have Gabriel, which is starting to get a little bit stronger and intensify as it moves into a more favorable environment. This is likely to occur to sea, though, so nothing to worry about with this besides high waves and storm of currents, possibly. Main reason we're watching is our area in the Gulf, possibly that the CPC Climate Protection Center also has marked. Let's break down everything you need to know for the next 2 days. As you guys can see, this is our day 1 SPC outlook for today. See, we do have a large margin risk that stretches all the way up into Michigan, down into areas in far northern Texas. We also have another marginal risk that includes areas such as Iowa, Minnesota, and South Dakota areas, and even a little bit of Nebraska, as you can see here. We do not have a tornado threat for today. There is a less than 2% chance for tornadoes today. We do have a 5% damage even risk that includes that main marginal risk area, which is all the way from Michigan into northern Texas. We also have 3 small 5% hail risks that include South Dakota, Minnesota, and Iowa, and like I said, a little bit of Nebraska. Also in northern Texas and Oklahoma and central Oklahoma areas, there's also a 5% damaging hail risk. Same with areas in Missouri and a little bit of Illinois and Kansas. Definitely gotta watch for severe weather. These are outlook for tomorrow. So day 2 SPC outlook, you can see we do have a slight risk, a enhanced risk, definitely a possibility tomorrow. There's so far only a 2% tornado risk, so a future are definitely possible tomorrow. In Oklahoma is our main risk for tomorrow. In Oklahoma and Kansas areas. We also have a 15% damaging wind risk tomorrow, and a 15% damaging hail risk. Sorry, this includes areas in Oklahoma and central and southern Kansas. I gotta watch for severe weather for the next couple days. Let's look at what the models are showing. It is the current HRR weather model for today. I am recording this pretty late, so it doesn't show all the storms. I will look at some other models to show you guys a little bit more though. This is the HRR weather model though. See, the storm starting up in the afternoon hours in areas in the central U.S. and eventually moving into the Ohio Valley areas where we do have a line of storm developing in the Ohio Valley and Missouri, and a little bit of Texas you can see down here also. For today, we will have these storms into the late night hours, and then they will eventually start to dissipate and die out. So our main risk, like I said, guys, is SPC outlook is damaging wind and hail. No tornado threat for today, but let's look at our cape. We don't have a whole lot of cape. We do have some 1,000 to 2,000 areas in Missouri where we do have that hail risk, and in areas in South Dakota and North Dakota, areas in some Iowa, where there is also that risk. Same with Illinois, where there is that hail risk. And we have about 1,000 cape in the Ohio Valley. You can already see for the 23rd. So in 2 days, that area in Oklahoma and Texas, you're going to see that 3,000, 4,000 area cape areas in Oklahoma and Texas areas. Look at our bulk shear for. Definitely have a lot of bulk shear for today. Definitely have enough shear for some storms to start up, and these storms will be moving pretty quickly. Like we'll be having a mainly QLCS threat for today. So mainly lines of storms. Same with tomorrow, except for it will be more severe tomorrow with more of favorable conditions tomorrow. That's all for today. Not a whole bunch of severe weather expected for today, but let's look at for tomorrow. Here, this is the Rufus model, or RRFS Rufus model. It's an experimental model. Sometimes it does overreact, but it's the best. It's going to be replacing NAM soon, so it's more reliable as of now, I would say. But as you can see, this is the 23rd. Pull up in just a minute. You see, we are expecting some discrete cells in areas in Kansas, possibly in the early morning hours, and then eventually in the afternoon hours, we'll see this become into a QCS line threat. If you think a 5% tornado risk is definitely possible, there is some discrete cells, as you can see here, guys. Definitely gotta watch that for the discrete cells on the Rufus model. See, it does look like it will turn into more of a linear QLCS threat. After the overnight hours, it eventually does die out pretty fast. On the 24th, it's also picking up something, but that's not for sure. This is just a Rufus model. Rufus sometimes can overreact, so it's nothing to be super concerned about. I want to look at one other weather model, and that is a NAM model. This is the NAM weather model, NAM 3KM. The 23rd, it doesn't show all the 23rd, but definitely does show some of it. You see, kind of agreeing with Rufus with that linear QLCS threat, except for it doesn't show the discrete cells in Kansas earlier on. But you can see, definitely see a QLCS type of linear threat. And areas in Oklahoma, main threat being Oklahoma. I definitely think a 5%, like I said, is possible. Let's look at our surface base. This is our surface base cape for the 23rd. Let's look at that real quick. Definitely got some decent high cape numbers. About 3,000 being picked up on the NAM 3K. The NAM 3K isn't the best weather model, but it's a pretty good weather model for about 2 days out. Let's look at our bulk shear. Let's see what NAM is picking up on our bulk shear. This is our bulk shear for tomorrow. So the 23rd. Definitely have a lot of shear over here. 78 knots of bulk shear. Definitely some very high shear. Definitely enough for rotating storms and strong storms. We definitely got very good conditions for tomorrow. So just gotta watch that closely. Now let's break down what you can expect with the tropics over the next coming weeks. This is our current NHC outlooks for the next 7 days. We have a disturbance in the Gulf and the Atlantic, with a 30% chance for cyclone formation in the next 7 days. Just came off the coast of Africa and may possibly have slow development, but that likely looks like it will come to sea. Also behind Gabriel. Gabriel also has 65-mile-per-hour max sustained winds and likely will intensify, maybe even reach Cat 1 status by today, as it is moving into a more favorable environment and that dry air is starting to roll out. We now have a tropical disturbance in the Gulf for the next 7 days. But if you think we should watch the Gulf very closely, I'll show you guys why. This is the CPC Tropical Hazard Outlook. This is the Climate Protection Center outlook. Tropical hazard. You can see we do have 2 areas for the next 3 weeks marked in the Gulf. For week 2, we have an area marked in the Gulf with about a less than 22% chance for tropical formation, possibly. Same formation possibility, and same with week 3. We also have a 20% chance for formation. So definitely gotta watch the Gulf really closely. I also want to show you guys what our ensembles are showing currently. These are GFS ensemble members. We have Gabriel, obviously you're going to see that one storm, which we don't know for sure if that other storm behind Gabriel will even develop completely. You can see we are seeing multiple lows appear in the Caribbean trying to develop. It looks like they will start to see. There's a few outliers that do show this going into the Gulf and trying to develop. We also have multiple lows that are coming off the coast of Mexico and trying to develop also. The GFS is picking up. Also, I'm going to show you guys our Google AI model, which is showing a lot of low pressures in the Gulf and Caribbean. And this is our Google AI weather model. You see multiple storms starting to. This is on the 27th. You can see multiple lows developing in the Gulf already. And in the Caribbean, sorry. And then also you can see more developing in the Caribbean heading towards the Gulf. Which you can see Google AI model has multiple loads developing in the Caribbean, heading towards all over the place, same as the Gulf. Nothing to be super concerned about yet. As right now, this is on October 3rd. So this is way too far out to be concerned. We definitely have to watch the Gulf very closely as we are past prime hurricane season. Just like last year, we could have a back-end hurricane season where it was pretty quiet first. We haven't had a single landfalling hurricane. We've only had one tropical storm that made landfall, and that is Tropical Storm Chantel, which caused mainly flooding with maybe a few weak, brief tornadoes, but nothing super damaging or bad happened with Chantel. So we definitely gotta watch the Gulf very closely. And the Gulf is record-breaking temperatures right now, due to the fact that there are very warm waters and the fact that no hurricanes or tropical systems have been able to develop in the Gulf, but we're expecting shear to go away, to dissipate, and also that should leave storms more possibilities to develop. I also want to show you guys what the satellite is looking like on Gabriel right now. This is Tropical Storm Gabriel's current appearance on IR satellite. You see it is trying to form an eye right up here. It did form a little bit of AI earlier, but it did fail. It tried to develop a eye wall in an eye. On R, you could definitely see it on visible high-res satellite. If you guys want to look this for yourself, you can look at Turbo Tidbits or Weatherwise app, which is what I've been using. But as you can see, definitely looks like an interesting storm. It is starting to intensify as it is getting into a more favorable environment, less dry air, less shear. So it should be able to start to intensify into possibly a Cat 2 or higher hurricane. But most models have it being as. That's all for this video, guys. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you guys like, subscribe for more weather forecasts.